Jaime Domingo, ayan, galit siya. Sabi niya, Senator Amy knows that her brother is it's her fault. It's her fault. If not for her, Inday would have not backed down.
That's very wrong.
It's clear that country is suffering due to this brother's incompetence. So, anong naipit? Ayan.
Jaime, mawalang galang na, no? Number one, hindi magbaback down. Kung alam mo lang yung scenario nung time na yon, ayaw kumandidato ni VP Inday. Ang kasalanan ni Senator Amy, ginulo niya pa, magdadavaw na lang yun eh. Ginulo niya pa, hinila niya mag-VP. So, yung panaginip mo na sana nagpresidente, ayaw niya talaga. She's well aware she's not prepared to be president during that time. Ngayon, maririnig niyo rin yun na hindi siya, ngayon, she's gaining this experience, no? From my point of view, being untouchables they are. Ngayon pa lang nakikita ni VP, yung ngayon niya nararanasan yung mga dapat niya maranasan para maging epektibo siyang presidente. So hindi totoo yung kung hindi dahil kay Senator Amy hindi nag-back down na mag-presidente. Wala talaga siyang plano. No, naayawan niya yan after hugpong, naayawan niya for reasons na I cannot divulge because hindi naman kami ganun ka-close. Kung kay Senator Amy to, pwede niya ako sa bunutan, pero kay VP na ayoko namang nananapak yun eh, ayoko namang ma-awardan ng ganun. So ngayon, ang ano ko, yan, number 2, yung number 1, yung alam niyang adik yung kapatid niya, I cannot say for certain na alam niya yan or kung totoo ba yan in the first place. Kasi ako na nga nagsasabi, hindi sila okay. Hindi sila okay. So, anong ine-expect nyo? Ako hindi siya pinagtatanggol ko si Senator Amy. Kung may mga kapatid kayo, number 1, nakikinig ba kayo sa nakakatandaan yung kapatid? Number 2, gaano kayo ka masunurin sa mga kapatid nyo? Yung basic lang na ganyan eh. It's not a perfect world. It's not a perfect world. No, ako nga 'di ba? Hindi ako nagano sa kapatid ko. So itigilan nyo yung kung di kinumbinsi ni Senate. Ang naging problema, si Inday, gusto niya na lang mag-Davao. Si Senator hinila niya mag-VP si Inday. Yun. So, hindi totoo yung nag-president sana. Huy, Jaime, ano ba?
I think direct, yung tanong kanina ni Ma'am Joey, yung parang, kung sakaling yun nga, lumabas na totoo yung video or anything, ano yung magiging implication na sa tingin ko dun mas maiipit kasi ang magiging sunod na tanong ng mga tao, alam ba ni Sen Amy o hindi? Mas maiipit talaga siya dun kasi yun nga, there are a lot of comments lalo na sa TikTok pag nagla-live na
alam mo Coco, kayo nakasama nyo na si Senator Amy, no? Sa tingin nyo o sa tingin ko, kung alam niyang nagko-cocaine yung kapatid niya, sa palagay ko hindi yun ipapakita kay Senator Amy. Sa personality ni Senator Amy, hindi nyo alam hindi nyo alam ang dynamic sa loob ng pamilya nila na si Senator Amy ay talagang dragon, no? Kung I don't think so. Para maniwala si Senator Amy, kailangan niyang makita yon or paninira lang yon sa kanila. We're talking about people na naging kalos na. Ultimo, kung pwedeng ibintang sa kanila yung pagpatay kay Jose Rizal, o magpapatay lahat ng mga firstborn sa Egypt na ibintang na sa pamilya nila. So, walang ganun si Senator Amy. She has to see it na nag-a-addict talaga yung kapatid niya para malaman niya. So, yung mga nagsasabi na alam na ni Senator Amy from the very beginning, I think it's unfair. No, pero you'll have hunches. I'll have hunches.
Pero Daryl, you understand that some people might not believe that. 100%.
Yes, I'm sinabi ko rin 'yan kay Senator. Sabi ko, pero Senator, hindi natin makukuha lahat. Hindi natin makukuha lahat na ganyan. Ako naman, ang sabi ko, ganito ako I'm only speaking for myself. Dalawa lang kami magkapatid, ako pa yung siraulo Kung sakasakali yung kapatid ko nagda-drugs, tapos nakita ko yung kapatid ko, or kahit hindi ko nakita, yung kapatid ko nakita ko, kaya ko pang isalba, kaya ko pang bigyan ng pag-asa. gagawin ko yon. Yun ang dapat gawin ng isang kapatid. No? Pero pag sinabing kukonsintihin mo, may kasama na yung usapan sa taong bayan, ganyan. Doon nga bumabalik si Senator Amy. The menace that we're experiencing right now is not from my brother. Kasi your brother is not the one who's making all these decisions. That's what I keep on saying. Kaya ako prepared ako doon na hindi bibenta sa lahat yung totoo. Yung katotohanan namin na hindi alam ni Senator Amy yan. Kasi kung alam niya yan, hindi niya sobrang ako I know her. Ako nga hindi ako pinapalagpas kahit basta I'm only overselling pag ganon. Pero alam na natin yan na as much as hindi niya dapat sinukuan yung kapatid niya kung nag-a-addict man, dapat iligtas niya rin ng taong bayan kung may katotohanan man ito. Tapos tong tanong naman ni Kaloy na takot ba si Amy kay Lisa? Diyos ko, hindi. Kaya nga ako, isettle na, square areglo na lang dapat ito No? Ano na lang natin to. Dapat sila,
may bardagulan daw ba direct na naganap between FL and Senator Amy?
They won't dare. They wouldn't dare. Ang alam kong na-awardan ni Senator Amy was Attorney Vic Rodriguez because of the grammar of the official statements. Yan ang alam ko. Pero I don't think Lam is ma-confront. Amy kasi is confront So sa palagay ko hindi makompronta si First Lady I don't think no one would dare na ikomprontahin si I mean, walang magdi-dare na i-confront siya. Walang bardagulan dyan, pero of course, may nasasabi na yan sa isa't isa. Pero yung sigawan, I don't think so. Hindi nila kayang harapin si Amy na gano'n. Matapang si Senator Amy Matapang with all facial expression, hand gestures, hair flipping, sobrang sobrang ang away nun away ng ano ba yon yung bring it on, ganun ang awayan niya. Yung mga cheerleader, ganun ang
catfight kung catfight.
Oo, ganun siya. So, etong kung takot ba si Amy kay Lisa, I think it's a taunting message, pero we all know na hindi, no? It's just coming from a daughter's, we have to understand, sobrang tagal na hinintay ni Senator Amy itong pagkakataon na to, only to be pulled down by someone who is not really a Marcos. Yun lang dun siya nanggagaling. So, as much as I want to be a responsible citizen, I cannot pull that card because I'm also a caring friend. So that's where I'm coming from.
Ano yung of course marami kanina tinanong na rin ni Sas na aware si Senator Amy na definitely a lot of people will, parang iti-take siya ng 50-50 na they're going to wait. Ang hirap kasi sa position ni Senator Amy. Unless her back is on the wall at kailangan niya talaga gumawa ng desisyon between yung sa family niya at saka yung mga kaprinsipyo niya, na mamimili talaga siya ng hindi yung mga lukewarm sa kanya, hindi talaga hindi talaga parang mag-all in sa kanya. Not unless dumating yung point na yon.
Alam mo, Joey, just to be realistic about it. They all want this people na medyo maligamgam nga sa kanya. Iniisip na na siya. Ang ko nga ganito Ang tanong niya sa akin ganito, or ang tanong ng mga taong nakapalibot sa kanya, saan siya pupunta direct? Wala pa namang kampo.
Oo.
Diba?
Actually,
wala pa namang kampo
kasi si Inday, hindi rin pa naman siya,
diba? Exactly.
Hindi pa rin naman siya nagsasalita all out.
Ako, I call upon all my, ma-hurt ako, tatanggapin ko yon. Pero bago pa ako napunta kay Senator Amy, DDS na ako. Wala pa akong pera. Ha? Ito, gusto ko lang malaman yung lahat. Alam nila, Crisette, yan, 2016, nilaban ko yung kampanya ni Digong kahit wala naman akong directly sa kanila, connection. Ang nakakausap ko pa noon was Peter Lavinia, dinala kami sa Luneta. Alam na nila yan, alam na nilang Maka-Duterte ako. So ako,
Zero ba yan? Zero.
ang parang pinaka ko na lang dyan, hindi ako papayag na sa harapan ko ganunin si Inday. Kasi, when you see a quality leader talaga, at sa palagay ko hindi ganun ka, I don't wanna use the term, hindi ganun ka, paano ko ba to sasabihin? Matalino si Inday. Totoo na si Senator Amy ang dahilan kung bakit siya sumama dyan sa Uniteam. Pero, hindi si Senator Amy ang dahilan kung bakit hindi siya nag-president. Yun lang yung masasabi ko. Kung ano mang understanding nilang dalawang babae, sila na yan. Pero clearly...
Alam ko, delikadesa.
Oo.
May isa pa akong tanong, Direk. Kasi alam natin na ang gusto ni Sen Amy is yung parang yung mga Marcos, pangalan ng mga Marcos, pangalan ng tatay niya, parang mabuhay ulit sa puso ng mga Pilipino. Alam natin yan makatatay talaga siya. Anong pakiramdam niya na parang itong redeeming moment sana ng mga Marcos, itong pagpupo ng kapatid niya, ganito yung nangyayari. Parang mga loyalista, bumabaliktad, nag-aayaw, tapos parang yung, sabi nga namin nung campaign period parang it's either they will fuck it up now and be, parang mawalan na ng tiwala kasi ito na yung chance na binigay sa kanya sa kanila para ma-redeem So it's either, parang sobrang lala naman kung they will fuck it up now, etong chance na to. Pero
na-fuck up na nila. Si Senator Amy, nung nanalo yung kapatid niya, sobrang saya niya dahil may chance sila. Pero ito yung dalawang scenario na nagsabi sa kanya na hindi na nila mararanasan yon ngayong buhay nila. Number one, hindi man lang naging emotional si BBM about his father during the inaugural address. No, yun ang hinahanap ni Senator Amy. Sinasabi ko bilang kaibigan niya, hinanap niya dun sa speech ng kapatid niya na yung, Dad, I'm here now. Hindi niya narinig yun. Pangalawa, nung nagbigay na ng bulaklak sa EDSA, tinapon na lahat ni Senator Amy lahat ng expectation niya sa gobyernong to. Yun lang yung masasabi ko, no? So,
maaga niyang natanggap.
Di ba sinabi ko sa inyo, she was very emotional during EDSA when the Malacanang sent flowers. She was very emotional during that time. Very, very, very emotional. So doon nasabi niya na sa sarili niya na hindi Marcos ang gobyernong ito. Period.
Ano?
Argente.
RJ?
Uy!
RK Bagatsing yon, hindi RJ. RK Bagatsing ang gumanap doon.
My God!
Nandiyan si Attorney Trix. Attorney Trix, gusto niyo pong mag-join?
Akitin.
Oo nga Ito, ayan. I-paste ko na lang yung ayan, yung link. Ayan, nasa comment section. Para makikita kaya ito ni Attorney Trix. Ayan. Sasali daw. Ayan. If may time ka po. Ayan. O, diba? Ayun. Ang hirap kasi doon sa sitwasyon ni Senator Amy. If madaling-dalin kasi doon sa emotional na space kasi nga imposible na mag-loyal ka sa mga Duterte kasi syempre kapatid mo yan, ganyan. Pagkatapos, aside from that, yun nga yung dahil ano no, ang tawag dito, isa siya dun sa key person kung bakit napasama siya sa unit team, ganyan. Ang ano ko nga doon, while I understand all the doubts, parang let us also be fair kasi meron rin namang sinunog na political capital si Senator Amy. Kasi nung time na walang kumakampi sa Duterte, 'di ba, nung 2016, Senator Amy was there to ano. So ibig sabihin, meron din siyang sinunog na capital diyan kahit papaano. So it is not as if yung parang she took advantage lang dun sa mga Duterte. Kasi at that time, nobody knows na mananalo si PRRD noong 2016 and yet tumaya rin siya doon. So, while I perfectly understand the doubts, I think the most rational way to approach is to take it one day at a time. Diba?
Exactly.
Until we get to the point na, yun nga, na parang may kampo-kampo na. Kasi ngayon, kahit pa sabihin natin na we are rallying behind
Sabi ni Inday na mag-opposition siya, wala pang isang minuto, may statement na si Senator Amy.
Oo, yung mga ganun.
Yeah,
mga ganun.
I believe.
Those are the actions I am expecting from Senator Amy. Mga non-negotiable actions, ganyan.
Yeah.
Mga ganun. And from there, we can judge her.
Alam nyo, yung pagsasalita pa nung Jaime kanina na, yung pagsasalita pa nung Jaime na wag niya piliin yung mga anak niya, and something like that. Alam nyo, hindi ko sinasabing pinipili niya yung mga anak niya at yung mga anak niya ay makasa gobyernong to. Wala akong sinabing ganun. Si Senator Amy, simula pinanganak siya hanggang ngayon, lumaki sa kanilang magkakapatid. Siya ang lumaki sa politika. Siya ang lumaki sa public service. Hindi niyo siya kailangang sabihan ng ganyan. Alam niya yung gagawin niya. At silang tatlo, inano sila na you have to explain to the Filipino people. They cannot explain it anymore. At tanggap na yun ni Senator Amy na hindi ito yung ine-expect ng tatay niya after EDSA. Yun lang, after the palace gave, flowers nung EDSA. Malinaw na sa kanya yon. Tinapos niya na yung panaginip niyang yon. So, let's just wait.
So parang
sa Trixie na di-disconnect.
Kasi Daryl, unity naman eh.
Ano yun, Sas?
Unity naman.
Unity. Di ka, alam ka, sa totoo lang yung pagiging emotional ng mga DDS doon sa sitwasyon ni Senator Amy. Dahil naman kasi talaga sa sobrang tindi ng budulan na nangyari.
Totoo. Alam mo,
grabe talaga yung budulan na nangyari. As in, vicious, the most vicious budulan ever.
Alam mo, nasasaktan nga ako pag sinasabi ni Banat na kayo lang naman ang naniwalang itutuloy nila yung poprotektahan nila si Digong eh. Kayo lang yan. Kami, di kami naniwala dyan yung mga ganyan. So,
di agree. Mas magaling ka ba? Nakabay doon.
Hi po.
Hi.
Hello, Attorney.
Hi, Daryl.
Hi po.
Pero ano ba yung ano yung basis ni Ban? Di ko kasi siya napapakinggan talaga ng ano. Pero ano basis ni Banat Bayno na sinasabi niya na tayo lang daw ang naniwala na poprotektahan ng mga Marcos?
Oo, may ganun siya eh. May sinabi siya na from the very beginning daw ng campaign, dapat alam na natin na hindi maka Rodrigo Duterte etong
Sandali
mga
Marcos. Attorney Trixie, may resurrection.
Ay, talaga? Anyari?
Kasi, yung page ko pala, may isa pang admin. Ngayon, ang natanggal ako. So, ang tinanggal nila, yung may 220,000 followers. Yun ang na-delete. Mm-hmm. Pero dahil may isa pang admin, ang may 867,000, tuloy ang bardagulan. Yun lang.
Yay! Pero keep mo pa rin yung YT. Keep mo pa rin yung YouTube. Simultaneous, pag nag-StreamYard ka, sabay.
Mm-hmm.
Yan yung gusto kong sabihin sa'yo. Sas, kaya lang messenger lang tayo nag-uusap, wala pa yung messenger mo. So sabi ko, paano ko sasabihin kay Tas na baka meron pa siyang admin
reaction ni
mo?
Attorney Trixie.
Ano yan? Ano yung Daryl? Ano nangyari?
Sobrang refreshing ng reaction mo kasi si Sas, puro mga evil laugh eh. Yung sa'yo, sobrang pure and innocent na, yay! So sobrang...
Sobrang wholesome.
Siyempre na-miss ko kasi si Sas. Ano, ang hirap kaya pag wala si Sas sa Facebook. Parang naputulan ako ng saklay. Ganun.
Kung sasabi ko lamang ay nakalimutan yung isa akong binhi. Char.
Ayan, hindi ang saya.
Ayun. Attorney Trix, actually, napanood ko yung live nyo kahapon, no? Pero may mga sobrang pasabog na, di ba, na minention si Sas at saka si Maharlika nung yung sa live nila na Black Ops team. Ganyan. Well, pwede po kayong mag-react or pwede kayong whatever you want to say na kung ano. Ano pong reaction nyo dun sa the Black Ops team are RJ Nieto, Mel Robles, and Lisa Marcos?
Ako, I don't doubt. Hindi ko sure kung sila, no? Kasi I never worked with them nung I was in office. Pero undoubtedly, there should be, or there ought to be, and there is, most likely a Black Ops team. Syunga-syunga na lang yung any government agency, such as the PCO, na hindi magko-conduct ng something like a counter-offensive, whether on legitimate channels or whatever. Kasi the state, and right now, sila yung gobyerno, and they represent the state has the right to protect itself. So, kaya nga, di ba, there are such things as clandestine activities. We have, in theory, we have spies, we have people who can do violence in the name of the state. So, hindi ako nagdududa that there is one. I'm not sure if these are the actual people who conduct them. Pero it would be naive to think that there isn't any. Di ba? So, si Sas, may personal knowledge yan. So, unfortunately, when I was in office, I was doing a lot of my own firefighting, both politically at saka, while doing my job at the same time. So, medyo busy yung time na yun. I did not get to interact with these people very much, except in official capacities. So, si TP, hindi naman siya official. So, nakikita ko lang siya on the foreign trips yun. On at least one foreign trip.
Okay. So there was no interaction po between you and TP in your official capacity as press secretary?
Nagkasabay kami kasi during the New York trip, nauna ako. I left a few days before the president para pagdating niya doon, briefing na kagad kami. Kasabay ko siya nagkita kami sa Hong Kong, sa lounge, dahil I'm not sure kung pareho magkaiba kami ng flight, pero pareho kaming airline. So, nauna lang ako umalis kaysa sa kanya. Yung kumbaga, nagkita kami, we had lunch in the lounge, okay pa kami doon. I didn't know that we were not okay. So, until, much later.
Is it appropriate, attorney? Kasi kung hindi naman siya well, ang press release niya kasi noon parang he paid for his own travel eh. Pero is it appropriate na someone who is not supposed to be part of the contingent is there with the presidential team, ganon?
Siyempre, concern yung public funds. So, ang assurance niya is wala siyang ginamit na public funds. Was he privy to certain activities? Tingin ko, oo. Pero halimbawa, hindi ako privy dun sa private affairs ng First Family. So, if he knew about things like concerts, ganyan, wala akong alam doon. And I think deliberately, wala talaga ako, walang sinabi sa akin. So that if ever I was asked, wala akong personal knowledge.
Mm-mm.
Pero controversial yan eh. Which activities was he there that were official? Hindi ko siya nakikita in any of the president's official functions, no? But meron kasi siyang sinasabi na alam niya, which I'm not sure how he came to that knowledge. So medyo that part would be controversial. In fairness, dun lang kami talaga nagkita dun sa sa airport, and beyond that, masyado nang busy eh kasi rat-rat yung schedule ng activities nung time na yun. So, na ano lang ako na, how do you call this? Since he had no personal knowledge of many of the official functions where we were there, I understand that he said something like, I did not participate in many of the activities. So, pabubulaanan ko yon because he could not have had personal knowledge of that. Nandun ako. Ako yung uma-attend, and I was at all of the conferences. I was at most of the sessions of the president, except the ones where like, sabihin nila sa akin, it's okay. Kasi yung hotel where we had the events, ang liit ng function rooms. So there were some incidences or events na hindi talaga ako kailangan doon. We had our note takers who were present during the activities or the events. After that, I would either meet with the media or I would start making notes for the briefers later on. So punong-puno yung time na yun, and I was working the whole time. Yun nga lang, if you're not privy to what the activities are, you wouldn't know that what I was doing was working. So, and I was there when the president met with President Biden. I was the only other official in the room. So, it was the president and myself. So, hindi niya pwede talagang sabihin na wala akong ginawa ng time na yun because I was doing briefings. Nagla-live pa ako noon. Na nagreklamo pa nga yung media because they didn't like the idea na makakapag-live ako. And medyo nagreklamo sila dun sa ibang mga officials. Umabot sa akin, so I had to stop doing live sessions after that.
At that point. Attorney, meron pong question dito. Sabi, since when did Attorney Trixie get wind of Lam's dislike of her guts?
Okay, medyo tricky yan. I didn't interact with her very much. Kasi nga, wala naman siya sa Malacanang when I was there. And in the official functions where I was present, I would see her, but not very often. Kumbaga, on the official trips, yes. I had an idea, but no factual basis, except that, kumbaga, I just had the instinct to keep my distance. I mean, there are other things that I don't think it is time to reveal right now. Pero the recordings, I knew about the recordings, but much later, actually. I had left office by the time I knew it. But I was also aware that there were, officials who were placed in my office who did not have, kumbaga, any intention of cooperating. With me or with other officials of the office. So there was that. We were firefighting that, and at the same time doing our work, and then trying to handle the political situations at the same time, or the communications aspect of that. Sa akin naman kasi, if you're there in an official capacity, given that there will be people who won't like you. Politika yan eh. There will be people who don't have your interests at heart. And medyo naive din ako because all I wanted to do was work. And that was most of what we ended up doing. Yun nga lang, nakakapilay talaga when you have officials who you did not select. Kasi kay President Duterte, basically the head of agency got to choose his people. But in this administration, it's not always the case. So it wasn't just with me. You'll see other cabinet officials. For example, si Secretary Bautista.
Sandali lang, Secretary Trixie, meron akong important announcement po Sa ilan bang nanonood sa iyo ngayon?
4,576 YouTube.
Okay. Sa lahat ng 4,550 trillion na nanonood ngayon, pumunta kayo sa aking page sa For the Motherland at please lang po mag-comment, mag-like po kayo sa kakapost ko ngayon. Now na, walang magsasalita habang hindi ginagawa yan. Now na. I'm waiting for it. Otherwise,
i-share mo sa page mo ngayon yung YouTube channel mo din para diretso na din.
Yes. Otherwise, pagwan ko kayong family tree, lahat kayo, kahit 4,500 pa kayo.
Ito ba yan?
Yes, do it. Do it now. Do it good.
Share ko din to. Kaloka kayo, ha? Dali lang. Since walang pwedeng magsalita in the meantime, di ba?
Wala. Ganyan. Gawin nyo. Mag-comment po kayo, please. Mag-comment. Please share, comment. I will appreciate everything. And I will assure you na sisingilin natin sila sa lahat ng kanilang walang resibong MOOE. Now na, mag-comment, share, like. Murahin nyo ako. Wala akong pakialam. Do it. Yan.
Nalobat si yung mga naghahanap kay Direk Daryl, nalobat si Direk Daryl. Ayan, nalobat siya. Pero babalik pa yata.
Sinasabi ko na sa inyo kayong mga ardiente. Okay. 4,500. Kailangan may 4,500 now na dyan. Isampal po natin sa mga basahang vloggers si Marcos sa administrasyong ito na hindi po nila tayo kayang ilibing dahil tayo ay DDS.
True. Ayun.
Okay na. Ayan.
Okay na.
Yes.
Ayan. Attorney, sabi ni Joyce Adventure, salute to you, attorney, when you resign from your position because you have preserved your integrity. PH.
May tanong ako, Attorney Trixie and Sas, kasi nanood ako nung huling live ni TP, and sabi niya parang nung pumunta siyang Europe, na-realize niya na dapat pala policy at hindi personality. Nung nagsusubaybay kami sa inyo, ako kahit sa inyong tatlo, parang ganun naman, lagi niyong inaano na it's always policy. So parang nagulat ako na nung pagpunta niyang Europe, sa kanya lang na-gets na dapat policy, parang friends naman kayo. Parang all this time ba, mali yung nagigets naming messaging nyo na hindi niya lang nagets na kayong dalawa ni Sas ay policy-based yung mga criticism or yung mga topics nyo.
Lasing kasi siya, Kuya Miko.
Na kailangan pa niyang pumunta. Gulat talaga ako
aware
doon.
Aware naman siya that look, kasi may expertise si Sas, di ba? Merong field of expertise si Sas, and then I have my own. In fact, we both have, I think, several at the same time because, specialties are for insects. In his case, he had to find a niche. He had to find some place where this was his own thing. So since limited yung expertise niya, he would have to talk about something that would be more personal. Something that would connect to people. So kailangan magpatawa siya, magkomedyante siya to translate what Sas was saying into more pedestrian language or ano. So yun yung ano niya. And I think that the reason na nare-realize na lang niya na dapat policy over personality is because he's finally learning a little bit about this level of communication and how to run government, how to even this form of higher education that he's trying to attain. Si Sas, matagal na yan sa lubog in academic language. Matagal na rin. In taking my master's, ganun din. Nagtuturo din ako. So, I think now, naiintindihan niya that the usual language of vlogging that he had been so used to has no place in the academe, and that he now has to try out a new kind of language, a new form of communication, which is more objective. So yes, I think the realization would be coming now, because he's coming from someplace else. Si Sasa na yan eh, kahit tawid-tawirin niya yung both the academe and then be able to translate her own words into something everybody understands. She's used to that. But understand that TP had his limitations at first, and now he's growing. Kumbaga, he's now realizing what those limitations are, and I hope he's reaching to expand his knowledge and his expertise, if any.
Mm-mm.
Mali talaga yung decision nila, Attorney Trixie, na tinanggal ka sa PCO. Ang galing mo. Ang galing mo magganyan.
Grabe. Wala pa akong barya ang aga-aga. So, 2:00 ng umaga.
Pero actually, marami kasi, yung sinabi ni Attorney Trixie na ang bait-bait ng pagkakasabi niya. Pero it is very true. Yung si Sas kasi, si Attorney Trixie kasi, they can travel from the bargasan to the academic any moment. Ganon. Mabilis lang. Kumbaga, 750 lang yung pamasahe nila papunta ng Diba? Mabilis lang yung anuhan.
Actually, mas lalo si Sas. Kasi ako naiirita pa ako sa academic language eh. Yung mga praxis, yung mga ganyan, epistemological. Maririnig mo parati yung mga words na yun. It drives me crazy. Kasi iba yan sa pag sumusulat ka naman ng pleadings sa law. So there's also a different cadence and language pagka pleadings naman ang sinusulat. Or even the way you talk in court. Meron mga meron pa, buti nga tayo, hindi katulad nung sa US, meron pa silang, oh yeah, all rise, the Honorable Court, chuchu, ganyan. And in the UK, may wigs pa sila in Europe. So, may mga ganon ka na weirdness yung law. Even dati sa pleadings, meron pang comes now the petitioner, ganyan. Mm-hmm. Like it's really archaic and it doesn't change very easily. Pero to be able to traverse yung mga ganong klaseng languages, mas magaling talaga si Sas. Malayo. Kasi naiirita ako dun sa mga praxis na yan, Vinchak. So, yung first year in master's classes, takbo ako ng takbo sa dictionary. So,
true. Pagkatapos ko, ang lakas pa ng loob na Attorney Trix kasi before, no nakaka-session namin si Sas sa TikTok, may isa kaming kasamang TikToker doon. Sabi namin kay Sas, ikaw naman kasi Sas, ba't mapagpatol ka? Yung nanghihingi yung CV, tapos ikaw binigay mo naman. Ba't pinapatulan mo yung... Ba't mo pa kasi binigay? Yung kina-question yung credentials and everything na para, why do you have to prove to these people that you are a scholar? Scholar ka naman talaga.
Correct. I think hindi lang yata naintindihan kasi nung taong yon the nature of what scholarship really is. Scholarship isn't getting to study for free. It's the it's the learning. Kumbaga, it's being immersed in a culture where everybody's always trying to discover something new. Because the test of your expertise is your contribution to the field. So, yun, like si Sas, ang thesis niya propounds the theory of, ano ba yung sa'yo, Sas? Yung sa South China Sea issue, di ba? Propounds to clarify
structural causes. Structural causes. The political, the rivalry.
Oh, ayan. Yun yung So that is her contribution to the field. Most people think that a thesis is a compliance requirement. Pero what you're doing when you create a thesis is you contribute to that field of knowledge. So you realize that later when you're taking higher studies. Kasi sa undergrad, you're so busy learning too many diverse things. Later on, pag naka-focus ka na, that's when you realize that you're there to contribute something. Otherwise, hindi ka makakonsider na you're not an expert. You're not even a master in your subject matter unless you can contribute something.
Attorney Trix, may question si Kaloy Roy. Sabi niya, Attorney Trix, ano yung reaction mo dun sa basket case audio ni Lisa sa iyo?
Well, I knew about it even before. I didn't know that there was an. Well, I heard that there was an audio recording because there were people in the office na umaabot sa amin yung balita, and para sa akin, wala, dead man ako because I knew about it even before I left. So, and like unlike most people, I don't take these things personally. No, everybody has a right to feel the way they want to feel about anybody. I can't make people like me, but pagiging issue na lang yon when you can't do your job because of somebody's feelings. So that's another issue altogether.
I see.
Kasi si bagong lipunan na wala.
Ang hirap tanungin ni Attorney Trixie yung yung medyo kasi napapositive scripting na grabe.
Hindi, mahirap akong tanungin ng gacha. Yun kasi yun yung trabaho eh. That was the job. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-gacha. Hindi ka pwedeng yung matatanong ka tapos suddenly you end up revealing something you didn't intend to or that might have implications on national security. Diyari ka, di ba? So, even the manner in which we had to respond, yun talaga inaral yun. And that was discussed as a matter of policy, how we deal with the media and how to respond. So meron kaming that was a form of branding nung nandun kami. Yung, hindi pwedeng bardagulan during press briefings. We're going to handle it in a totally different way. But at the same time, try to minimize exposure, kumbaga. So yeah, that was the job. So sanay na sa ganun. Anong ginagatcha?
Mo na ako.
Hindi kasi for me,
sino umalis ka ng PCO, grabe yung I do not know how they do things internally now. Pero sobrang sabog talaga nila. Sobrang sabog talaga nila na ano ba itong mga I mean, I don't think they understand what they're trying to communicate. Ngayon, yung PCO. Medyo po kasi like, for example, syempre parang dapat up to date ka dun sa mga issues, yung pagka meron kang headline, dapat hindi to contradictory doon sa sinabi ng Pangulo ng or at least kahit papaano merong way on how you can make it look like it is harmonious, yung mga previous statements and Ngayon,
I think kasi kulang yata sa aral. Look, this was how my day would start. My day, secretary before would start at 2 a.m. So, 2 a.m. because I had to read the headlines. Kailangan alam ko lahat ng stories na nasa front page. Para in case that there's a looming crisis, maaga pa lang inaaral mo. So, you look at all the stories, you read all the stories, and then, pag sa tingin ko, there's something that is contentious or potentially controversial, aaralin mo na. If it was a Tuesday, which was for cabinet meetings in the morning, by 6 o'clock, umaalis na ako sa bahay kasi mahihirapan ka nang pumasok sa Malacanang pag marami ng tao kasi at the time meron pang mga RT-PCR mo, you have to present your certificate and so on. So ang daming protocols.
Wala pang 4,000 yung comments saka yung likes, ha? Pumunta na kayo sa page ko.
Oo nga.
Oo nga pala.
Dyan? Ang tawag dito.
Kung ayaw nyo ma-family tree.
lang tayo.
Kung ayaw nyo ma-family tree. Kailangan magpakita tayo ng lakas, no?
React na or otherwise family tree.
Oo. Kakalkalin yung buong buhay nyo. Attorney Trixie, may tanong ako. Ano yung sa tingin mo so far sa admin na to? Anong sa tingin mong maling ginagawa nila? Kung ikaw ang nasa position and how can they make it better? Maging constructive tayo. Sige.
No,
Ano yung sa tingin mong pwede nilang gawin to make it better?
May blueprint yung presidente. He had plans, and most of those are written. He articulated them in SONA 1. So dun sa SONA 1 at saka sa inaugural address, if they just study that, makikita nila kung ano yung objectives of the Marcos administration. Andiyan na, in-identify niya by department and which ones were the priorities. So kung kunwari ikaw ang LEDAC, titignan mo lang ano dyan yung kailangan ng legislation. Tapos isusulong mo na yon. You don't even have to make a list. You just have to talk to the House Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the President needs this. It's not rocket science. It's already all written down. Kung Cabinet Secretary ka, or let's say of the DENR, ang priority ni Presidente sa DENR yung reform in the Mining Act and in mining practices. Gusto niya na yung nickel mining natin, hindi tayo nag-export ng ore, dapat dito na lang sa Pilipinas nire-refine and we can create industries. At very little cost yan, we can create industries where we can turn this nickel into batteries for solar power and so on. So that no-brainer yan. Andyan na yan. But what does the DENR secretary do? She goes abroad. And for what? The problem is here. Diba? You just have to make the policy and then you go to the House and go to the Senate and tell them, this is the law I need. I need the Mining Act revised. Achuchuchu. Ganyan. Present ka ng draft mo. They're not doing that.
Aminin mo, for all her faults and quirks, the late Gina Lopez shake the system.
Yeah.
Ay, oo.
No, talaga, namulat tayo
kanya.
sa problema eh. Namulat tayo sa problema. Her solution might not be the best, but her approach was the best one to open the minds of the Filipinos of the, hey guys, we have a problem.
Yeah. Hindi ako agree dun sa methods kasi medyo nagmamadali siya. On hindsight, na-realize ko, she probably felt she didn't have enough time. Kung kaya naintindihan kung bakit niratrat niya yung mga mining companies. But you're right, I agree on that. She saw this as the problem. She made it the centerpiece of her short stint in the DENR. And she moved mountains to do it. Kumbaga may hyper laser focus talaga siya on the problem. Kasi tama naman siya. Ang daming problema. You choose a few that you will prioritize at rat-ratin mo yon. Ito nga, the president chose just one for this DENR secretary. Of course, the others like, hello, minimize plastics and all of that. And what do you hear from the DENR? We are losing the war on plastics. Bakit? Well, syempre, matatalo kayo. Wala ka namang ginawa eh. What did you do? It is the local governments na
Attorney Trixie, she's attending all the climate change conferences.
Because that's her only expertise. And it's not enough. Kumbaga, sige, sure, you attend all of the climate change conferences. Did you come back and create a new policy? No. In fact, hinaharas pa nila the people who are doing good jobs in the DENR, yung mga nag-handle ng ibang reforestation and all that, they're all doing good jobs. The rank and file, the plantilla, the ASECs, the directors of DENR who do the real and actual work, they need so many things and their secretaries out traveling. Minsan pirma, hindi na pipirmahan dahil nasa ng SEC. Di ba naantala na lahat. And walang for example, I understand, base dun sa marami pa tayong mga kaibigan sa loob, they keep trying to get her to sit down with them. Para, ma'am, itong kailangan ng polisiya, can you talk to the president, can you talk to the Senate, can you do this, that, because that is your job as secretary. Pag hindi niya naintindihan, sasabihin niya, pwedeng saka na lang, tapos pinapaubaya because I cannot grasp the issue or the science, so she sticks to what she knows, and what she knows is climate change. To be fair, she knows a lot about climate change, but that's not what the DENR is about. In fact, dati, hiwalay pa nga yung climate change na yan sa DENR. So now, we have two agencies that can't do anything. So we're going backwards.
So, Attorney Trix, sinasabi, well, very clear naman na yung miscommunication na sinasabi mo nga internal na hindi na nare-relay yung message na gustong gawin ng Pangulo doon sa mga secretary, sa speaker, sa Congress.
Na-relay na. All they have to do is read SONA 1, listen to the President. Okay, ganito yun, no? The President makes speeches. So part of my job before was to listen, get a transcription of all the speeches, study them para alam ko yung policy because I never got to, in the first few weeks, hindi ko makausap ang presidente for several reasons, one of which is that he was really busy. But if you're communicating on behalf of the president, you have to have a basis for that. So all you have to do is listen to him, get all the transcripts of his interviews and his speeches, and that will be part of the things that you study. The other cabinet secretaries don't even have to do that. They already know what the president wants. If they were at the inaugural address, they already know all of that. So my question is, ba't nalilihis sila and why is it all taking so long?
Yun nga yung yung actually itatanong ko na baka ang problema dito is hindi talaga yung parang walang control yung admin doon sa mga nasa baba niya. That's why it's not happening.
I think control. Walang follow-up, walang nagtitimon, walang ano. And part of that, it's the job of the executive secretary. So kunwari ganito, may cabinet meeting. So ang PMS is in charge of all the documentation and the ES, yan yung little president. So pag kunwari nakita ni PMS, ito during the cabinet meeting, inutusan ka ng presidente to do this. Magfa-follow up yan in 2 days yung PMS. What have you done for this? Ganyan-ganyan. So yung ES noon, weekly ang reports namin. If the president asks you to do something, and you have to submit something, you submit it on time, and then magre-report ka kay ES, okay, nasubmit ko na ito. And in the meantime, this is what I have done to address the issue. I'm not sure if it's the same now, pero kailangan may ganon, may nagbabaston, may nagdo-document. So, PMS and the Executive Secretary's Office, these are essential in dealing with the kaya nga primus inter pares yung executive secretary kasi yan yung magfa-follow up. The president, it's not the president's job to call up their secretaries and say nasa na yung hiningi ko sa'yo. You have people to do that. If those people aren't doing that job, then there's something wrong. Now, at some point, magiging issue ang leadership. Kasi kung nakikita mo na wait, nothing is come on, does it take you a year to realize that something hasn't been done, which is actually what happened quite recently? The president is meeting with the finance people because of our trouble with the International Anti-Money Laundering Councils, bodies. Nasa gray list tayo and it's now going to affect the OFWs. But the deadline was January 2023. Ngayon nyo lang na-realize yan. Di ba? 1 year na po ang nakalipas. And if you're just now waking up to the fact na nasa gray list tayo, then something is seriously wrong and you can all chalk it up to the leadership already.
Yeah.
So, sayang.
Actually, Attorney Trix, medyo nasa financial kasi ako for quite some time. Yung gray list na yan, tama po kayo doon, 2023 pa yan na-announce na
January.
Oo, na talagang siya. And then, there were specific action areas required. So,
kaya nga.
Yung terrorist financing. So, basically, actually, nakafocus siya doon sa enforcement Di ba po? Yung sa enforcement ng mga measures na pinangako natin na gagawin natin year prior. I think that is also one of the reason why the Duterte administration was pushing for the anti-terrorism law. Kasi isa yun sa mga way para matanggal tayo doon sa gray list. The gray list
on financing, terrorist financing.
Terrorist financing. Ngayon, ang impact kasi niyan, kapag ikaw ay nandun sa list na yon at nanatili kang nandun for quite some time, yung facilitation ng transactions from the Philippines, babagal talaga ng bonggang-bongga. Kasi lagi kang mafa-flag. Ang isip parate nung mga bansa na magpapadala sa'yo ng pera at saka tatanggap ng pera mula sa Pilipinas is that this has to be verified first kasi baka marumi to. Ganon. Anong gagawin ngayon ng ngayon pa lang tayo ngayon pa lang natin haharapin to, parang hello, mag-a-assess na sila ulit. Mag-a-assess
1
na
year
sila ulit.
after the fact. Diba? 1 year after 1 year, that's a solid year. That's 12 months, 365 days. Oh my God. Ngayon nyo lang napansin na, wala pala tayong ginawa. Now, to be fair, no? In addition, the Supreme Court, gumalaw naman sila. In-establish nila very recently, effective January 15, yung rules of procedure dun sa litigations involving the Anti-Terrorism Act. Including how to, yung sa money laundering. So, get a warrant and so on. So, ang hindi talaga gumagalaw dito is the executive. Kasi policy na yan eh. The law is already there. The litigation is, the rules have been propounded, have been passed, they have been ratified, everything. Kompleto na yon. And ang kailangan na lang ipagalaw yung baso pagdating dito nga sa actual implementation. The ball is in the executive. They have to set the policy. Ano pa kailangan dito? Andiyan na? Yeah, I just saw it. Okay, I have something like 2 minutes kasi kakain na ako.
Sige po.
So yun yung the judiciary has done its job, the legislature has done its job. Now, what remains is how the Anti-Money Laundering Council, which is an executive office under the executive, that the president just needs to set that straight. They have to revise the procedures. Kasi ganito yung problema sa Anti-Money Laundering Council. The law created a lot of barriers in order to hold. Ngayon, the original law, yung sa AMLAC. Pero, the Anti-Terrorism Act shortcut the procedure pagdating dito sa terrorism. Pwede kang mag-freeze right away. The judiciary already included in the rules of procedure how to do that para may due process. So, kumpleto na tayo as far as the legal requirements are concerned. Parang hindi gumagalaw pa rin. Andyan na nga yan sa executive. Kumbaga, ano na lang ang kulang? Policy statements, yung internal rules ng AMLAC, and so on. Ewan.
Parang, at saka yung Attorney Trix, yung review and audit ng coming from di ba po ang AMLAC is composed of representatives from BSP, SEC, and Insurance. Diba? BSP, Bangko Sentral, tapos meron taga SEC, at saka, I think Insurance Commission.
Okay, yeah. Plus the AMLAC itself.
Plus, and then plus yung pinaka-ED ng AMLAC. They have to, yun po yata yung isa pa rin delay eh. Yung kasi parang, they have to audit lahat ng mga entities that are covered by AMLAC rules. Hindi rin yun, that's executive function eh. So, correct. Ayun, so, ngayon pa na mag-e-evaluate na
rules eh. Yung executive yun eh, na-delegate na ng legislature.
Ano nun?
So, and hindi sila nag-umpisa in 1 year.
Ayan.
So, you'll see this replicated in many agencies across this administration. Na, tignan mo ang DTI. Okay? The president in his SONA said that one of the things that he was prioritizing was the broken logistics system in the agricultural sector. Yun yung nagpapataas ng presyo. Yeah, that's what gives rise to the hoarders, the smugglers, and all that. There is a cartel. Sabi nga ni Sen Aimee, may cartel sa middlemen. So, sila din yung importer, sila din ang nagbabarat sa farmers. In short, they control the supply by controlling the middle part. So, in an age where we have blockchain technology, where you have internet, you can have the farmers directly marketing to the retailers and cut off the middlemen. Why aren't we doing that? Because they have no storage. There's no cold storage. There are no grain silos. There are no drying facilities. There's nothing. We're not giving them the things that they need. We give them inputs of production.
Wait lang. Can someone give me, send me a screenshot yung Gone Girl daw na post ni TP?
Ito.
Yeah.
I-email mo sa akin. I-email mo sa akin.
Teka.
I-email mo sa akin.
Oh, meron nga.
I-email mo sa akin.
Teka. Ipakita natin.
Actually, yun yung
email mo sa akin.
Sige. Teka, i-screenshot ko nga dito. Ay, binara niya!
I tinake down na.
Ay, 8 friends. Teka, hindi to si
No.
Ay, binlock na ako ni Thinking Pinoy. Ito. Ito, nakita mo, Sas? Oh, ayan.
Nakamute ka, Sas.
Oo nga.
Hindi, balik ka sa wall. Gusto ko yung pati yung niya.
Yung?
Balik ka sa wall ni RJ. Huwag yung ganyang view.
Gusto niya makita na pinost.
Yes.
Yan, ganyan.
Yes.
Ito.
Oo.
Sige.
There you have it.
Grabing parinig. Ito naman si RJ Nieto. Come on.
This is not gonna end well. Well, I like having a front seat to this reaction. Ang saya-saya.
Eto. Eto na, i-email ko na.
Hindi, okay na.
Okay na? Nakuha mo na? Okay. Ayan, sige. Ayun.
So,
yung kanina sinasabi ko. Ay, yes,
kakain muna ako.
Okay, Attorney, thank you for joining.
Thank you, Attorney.
I'm going to watch pa rin. Para kakain lang muna ako.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you po.
Bye, Attorney.
Ayun. Yung sinasabi ko kanina na practical effect ng gray list, ito yung example, ito sinasabi ni Valerie Dizon Panopio. Yan po yung epekto ng pagkaka-gray list natin. Ayan.
Yung sinasabi ni Attorney.
High-risk countries. Yan, pag narinig niyo yan, ay, sorry po, kailangan po namin ng additional documents kasi nasa high-risk countries po kayo, ganyan, mga ganong eme. Yan yung effect nung pagiging nasa gray list natin. Ayun. Nawala yan nung napasa yung Anti-Terrorism Act. Nawala yan. Tapos, ayun, nire-evaluate tayo nung nakita na parang maraming problema sa implementation, binalik tayo sa gray list. Ayun.
Yung mga sinabi Madam ni Attorney Trixie, actually yun yung mga in-expect ko sanang kahit papaano nagawa ni PBBM, ni Bongbong Marcos sa DA. Yung nakita ko man lang sana na dinadagdagan niya yung storage para mabago yung sistema ng mga ganon, or kinonek niya yung
baka siya nagawa, just me.
farm. Oo, as in.
Siya ng bogang-bogo na siya na-achieve.
Sa smuggling, anong sistema ang nabago sa ano, as in ang daming opportunity na meron siyang mabagong systemic sa sa DA. Pero pag tinatanong ko nga yung mga nagko-comment sa akin na parang kaya hindi makapagtrabaho ang gobyerno kasi comment kayo ng comment talaga dahil lang nagko-comment kami hindi na sila makapagtrabaho. Hindi pwedeng magtrabaho muna sila para di na kami nagko-comment.
May naloloko dito. Anong meron?
Post ko lang ulit.
Enjoy na enjoy. Welcome back. Oy, ano na kayo? Comment na kayo dun sa post. Pinost niyo.
Subscribe kasi may bayad sa
I prefer the film Sas Week, sabi ni Sas. Ayan. Ayun, nakakaloka. Ay, nangyari. Ayan. Gun girl, si Lisa ang girl. Sabi, invite natin si, Pebbles Talakera. Nandito ba siya? Pumasok ba siya? Toxic Entertainment by Sas Rugando.
Nakamute ka na naman, Sas.
Meron pa siya ibang nagpaparinig post. Pakitingin nga. Tapos, tingnan ko ipopost ko rin.
Sige.
Tingin ko lang siya. Go.
Diba? Live stalking po tayo dito.
May ebidensya. Yung parang tinitignan nyo nga yung page. Oo. May ebidensya.
Ang susi pala sa pagiging math wizard overnight ay inggit. Now I know. Bakit ba kasi ako nag-aral? Pwede lang naman mainggit lang.
Meron pa mga parinig.
Ito. Ito. Ano ba to?
Ay, hindi yan. Wala yan. Ano pa?
Wala, nagpo-post lang siya sa mga aral-aral niya.
Ay, yun lang, yung gun girl lang siya. Yung gun girl lang siya.
Gun girl lang. Tsaka ito, nag-appearance sila ni Jonathan Malaya. Ayan. Ito, oh. Kaloka. Madami kasi naka-angry kaya siguro nagulat siya. Hindi na take down ng manifesto, nasa AFB pa din ni Captain Dado. Talaga ba? Mga kumakalat kasi na na-post na take down daw. Nakakaloka. Anyway, ayun. Teka, last na pag-usapan natin before we call it a night. Ano ang mga aabangan natin sa Sas nang nabawi mo na ang For the Motherland page?
Oo, anong mga aasahan namin?
Nakapag-live ka kaya doon? Makakapag-live. Okay. Mag-StreamYard ka. Mag-StreamYard ka. Bigay ko yung access ko sa'yo. Pwede yung 2 admin sa StreamYard ko.
Okay. Hindi, may StreamYard ako. May StreamYard ako.
May StreamYard ka. Okay. Ay. Mukhang nakikipag-handang-handa makipagbardagulan si Saso. Yung tingin pa lang para manlilibing na eh.
Oy, nagtatampo ako sa iyong 4,000 viewers, ha? Char.
Oo nga, mag-react na kayo, guys. Mag-react na kayo. Ito.
Ipopost ko yung ano namin. Salamat, Maring Sa.
Handa yung ano. Ayun. Ayan. O, react na. Nasa 2.3 pa lang tayo. O, ayan, react na.
2 minutes para pumunta sa page ni Sas. Wala mo nang usap-usap.
Oo. Sabi ni Pebbles, hindi daw totoong hindi alam ni Aimee. At tatanong natin pala yan kay Direk Daryl, no, kanina, na nandito siya. Kung aware siya o hindi. Kasi, actually, sige na nga, sasagutin ko. Tinanong ko yan eh. Wala. Grabe siya, oh. Eto sabi ni Pebbles, hindi daw totoong hindi alam ni Aimee. Tinanong ko yan, kasi syempre parang, yung pagkakasabi nila, yung sa pagkakakwento nila, BL, ni Pebbles, ni Sasa, at ni Marlica doon sa live nila. Sabi ko, totoo ba yun na di ba parang ang kwento is merong screenshot, yung screenshot, sinend ni Maharlika kay Senator Aimee. Pagkatapos si Senator Aimee, ang reaction niya na parang, ha? Si Pebbles ang tulak? Parang ganon, something like that. Di ba parang ganon yung kwento?
Na parang siya yung nagsusupply. Parang ganon.
Oo, na parang siya yung nagsusupply. Tapos di ba syempre naloka nga dito si Mami Pebbles na, ha? Bakit pag ako tulak? Bakit pag ako pusher agad? Ganon. Ayun. So, parang, ang tinanong ko, na pag-usapan rin namin ito ni Direk Daryl before. Kasi nga, syempre, nung nag-live nun sila Sas nun, sobrang trending nun, di ba? Parang, talaga. Yung tanong ni Senator Aimee, nagtatanong siya kung si Pebbles, I don't know, parang I think they got ahead of themselves and asked questions whether, ano ba yan? Ano ba yung na yan? Ibig sabihin ba although hindi kasi sinabi kung ano yung screenshot was all about di ba? Kung ano yung screenshot na pinasa, kung ano ba yung nakalagay dun sa message na yun. So parang ganun yata. And anyway, ganun yung explanation sa akin ha. Ganun yung pagkakaano ko dun. Yung sagot na nakalap ko dun sa tanong na yun. Pero yun nga, I am just relating the message. So please do not shoot the messenger.
Ito yan sa mga bagay na parang kahit sagutin, marami pa rin, kumbaga hindi makukuha lahat dun sa sagot. So, yun nga, parang sobrang pangit ng sitwasyon ni Sen Aimee. Kasi, lagi siyang ipit. Lalabas at lalabas yung tanong na yan pagka may lumabas talagang ebidensya.
Ayun. Ang totoo is that, yung sitwasyon ni Senator Aimee, mahirap talaga. Yun. Undoubtedly. And,
ganun pala ang page. Hindi rin sila ganun katalino, no?
Bakit?
Ganun pala yun. So, ang tinarget nila is my account. Kasi nandun yung mga issues na gusto nilang i-pinpoint.
Yung personal account mo.
Yes. Hindi, kasi di ba yung page din nawala for a time? As I think, na-transfer yung ownership ng page doon sa isa sa mga
Oo, malamang. Kasi may admin pa
Siguro akala nila walang ibang admin. Pag tinarget mo kasi yung page lang talaga mawawala pero nandun pa rin yung account. Pero pag tinarget mo yung account, lahat ng page na siya lang yung admin, mawawala. Maliban na lang yung ibang page na merong ibang admin. Expert ako dyan, Sas. Ang dami ko ng mga natanggal na page account.
Ano raw ang aabangan ninyo sa akin? Bukas ako ay magla-live. Mag-join ka Joey kung gusto mo. Ako ay i-re-expose natin ng hindi mo pera yan para magimba sila ulit. Buhayin natin ang natutulog na bangkay.
True. True, true. And speaking of hindi mo pera yan, si Coco Pimentel magpa-file siya ng petition sa Supreme Court dahil doon sa increase ng napakalaking increase na unprogrammed funds. Ayun. So, yun. So, tingnan natin. Well, ako supportado ko si si Coco Pimentel doon para magkaalaman. Kasi limitless kung sino-sino lang pwede mag-propose.
Anyway, all I can say is I hope you enjoyed the wine and champagne yesterday.
Sabi siguro ni Tipid, the fuck? Ba't mo iba yung page? The fuck? Huwag mo i-reveal kung sino yung isa mong admin dun sa kasi baka targetin. Ayun. Ayan. Oho siya, tayo matulog na? Okay na ba kayo? Okay na kayo? Okay, tulog na tayo. Sabi ni Christian Ong, yung mo daw.
My love is so vicious. Well, ganyan talaga ang
Hala siya. Grabe.
Hindi nga China is evil yung may dahilan. Kasi kung yung dahilan, nawala rin siya sa page ko. Kasi nakapost din yun sa page ko eh. Hindi yun ang dahilan. That's not the dahilan. Ang dahilan yan, something else.
Di sana kasi, yung na-take down yung post mo lang.
May ginawa yan sila doon. Doon sa account na yun. Kasi
kasi kung yun talaga yung target, kahit papano, yun yung pinakauna nilang tatanggalin at makakakuha ka ng violation. Then kung grabe yung violation, saka matitake down yung account mo. Pero wala yung post nandun eh.
So, ibig sabihin, meron silang ginawang hocus pocus para yung account ko talaga yung mawala. Not necessarily a post. Kasi kung post talaga, meron siyang specific maglalabas yun eh. Diba? Ano to?
So tingin mo hindi na yan.
Sabi ni Chupaeng, baklang sas yung video nyo, ilabas nyo. Hindi nga kami, wala nga sa amin ng video, anong ilalabas namin?
At saka kung yung page talaga ang may problema, tsaka kung yung page mo talaga ang may problema, di sana natanggal mismo yung buong page. Hindi kahit may iba kang admin, tanggal talaga siya.
Hindi, kasi yung page kasi pag ma-unpublish yan, may notice your page is being unpublished. So ibig sabihin na inano nila is my account itself sa Facebook. As in the account itself. Kaya nga pati yung messenger wala eh. Pero
yung personal account talaga yung tinarget.
Baka feeling kong inaano niyan is national security threat, etc. Baka ang sasabihin nila yung baka feeling nila ako yung maglalabas niyan.
Ayan. Ano naman si Paeng, kaya kayo nasasabihan tanga eh. Nung sinabi bang merong pulveron video, meron bang nagsabi na, oy, hawak namin ang pulveron video at ilalabas namin? Wala mo nagsabing ganon. Ang sabi meron at meron daw maglalabas. Someone else. Hindi nga namin alam kung sino yon. Ang sinasabi meron daw. Diyos me.
Oh well, all I can say is welcome back.
True. Ayan. Oho siya, tayo matulog na. At
Hi everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Kuya Miko.
Thank you.
Bye.